Welcome to the Underrepresented in Tech podcast, where we talk about issues in underrepresentation and have difficult conversations. Underrepresented in Tech is a free database with the goal of helping people find new opportunities in WordPress and tech. Hello, Samah.
Hello, Michelle.
I slept through my alarms this morning because it was a 3-day weekend, and I got a little too into it being downtime, but that's okay. I'm here.
How was your weekend?
I did nothing but play with Legos, watch TV, and sleep. So it was very, very good.
That was the best weekend.
Yeah. It was too hot here. We had storms and we have a heat advisory right now. I woke up this morning, it's already 80 degrees here, and then it's supposed to get up into the 90s, which is just, especially for the north, we're not used to it. And it's not a dry heat, so it impacts the air quality and asthma and things like that. So just taking it slow, taking it cool, being cool. How was your weekend?
My weekend was good. I also spent it lazy. I am now into a sport called paddle. I'm playing it, which is really nice. I'm trying to be more active. And Sunday, just laying down next to the swimming pool, and I'm just enjoying life. That's it. I think I deserve it.
I think you do too. Is that like pickleball? I know pickleball is huge here.
It's like a tennis and glass room. It's like between squash and tennis. Like squash is tennis and battle, to play it with two or people. And me and my husband very competitive people, so it was really fun game.
Nice. Like racquetball or something. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. I would die.
No, you're not. But one day we will find an activity. For me, it would be fun if just both of our activities. Me, I just want to sit and have a conversation. This is my best activity in the weekend, and just relax.
Absolutely. Maybe do some crafts together or something. I don't know.
Yes. Lego. Let's do some Lego together.
Yes. This weekend, I built it's brand new this year, the Sherlock Holmes book one.
Nice.
So it actually opens up and there's little hidden secrets and Moriarty's hidden somewhere in it. So that was fun. Yeah. And then I've been collecting the Chinese New Year ones. And I don't remember which year I just did, but I did another one of the Chinese New Year ones yesterday. So a lot of fun.
That's awesome. That's good.
Yeah. So tell us about the topic that you brought us today.
The topic today, we're going to talk about the artificial intelligence and gender equality. I was reading an article for United Nations Women. Of course, I was reading it and I was a little bit like, how can I say, emotional, because as you know, the AI is becoming part of our daily lives. Of course, we are using those apps to discuss or ask information, or even me, I use it as now instead of Google if I want to have fast information, or if I want to have more details about the topic. Of course, AI is growing, and it's really important to ask ourselves question: who is building it? Who is it serving? And right now, the tech industry, especially the AI, is still mostly designed and led by men. That means the AI system can sometimes reflect and even amplify gender biases already present in our society. Like example, for the AI tool used in hiring or being found to prefer male candidates, and voice assistants often use female voices and show submissive behavior. If we want to AI to work for everyone, we need more women and more diverse voices and more people from underrepresented groups to be involved in building it and using it. It's not just about using it, it's also about people who building it, and also about making it better, creating it better, and creating more smarter technology that can serve all of us and not only serve one specific group or gender. The article, of course, it goes a lot about, of course, explaining more, and we will share it in the link, and when we share the bio of the podcast. Of course, it's more explanation about what is gender biases, and of course, they did a lot of research, and of course, they give advices about how to avoid it. And of course, there was a report in 2023, and I'm pretty sure then it's a little bit late, the report, or the research, but pretty sure there's more recent research that 30% women only now working in AI. They didn't mention, of course, under other group of adding from underrepresented, the only 30% only women working in AI and
Hmm.
STEM, to be honest. And about the leadership, it's in STEM and ICT education and careers are less, more women are working there. And that's why we should little bit really working and emphasizing people who are leading the AI or creating the AI tools are thinking to make more diverse group to work on it and not only focusing on men or their from their aspect, because it's also can be hidden biases because people they don't know, and they're thinking and from their own perspective, so it's really will be more efficient to add more diversity group to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, your
It's really
thoughts.
interesting. Yeah, no, so many thoughts. First of all, I've sorry. I was remembering talking to Zach Hendershot about his new plugin that answers some questions with AI. So, like if you're or addresses them with AI, and then within your plugin or within your website. So, for example, if your um, if your client says, "Can you make the logo bigger?" There you have answers that are automatic and that you have taught AI how to use. And I thought my question to him was like, could you automate something that if that question was asked, you could do like the movie 2001: A Space Odyssey, where when they say open the pod bay door, Hal says, I can't do that, right? Like that's not something that's in your best interest. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that. This mission is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize it. It's like, wait a minute, you're not real. You're AI, right? Kind of thing. And then I was also thinking, like, so I just did a really quick search while you were talking about that. I started to type in movies that warn, and about AI automatically filled in, right? So there's so
Yeah,
many movies that have already been made. The Terminator, Ex Machina, The Matrix, 2001, I, Robot, Megan, Blade Runner, Westworld, like all of these AI, the movie Her from 2013. Like some of these go way, way back, right? Like
yeah.
Terminator, I don't even remember what year that was. That was like
And 90s.
1984.
Yeah,
1984, even before then, right? And
yeah,
so and even Wally, right, has some level of understanding of what that's about and how AI can be really detrimental to society. Now, of course, the movies are going to take everything and run with it as far as they possibly can, but you have to ask yourself, what are we setting up within AI now? What are we allowing it to do that could cause major issues at some point? And I think you bringing up today how AI doesn't necessarily take into account um, gender and represent gender well is one of those issues. I also remember hearing that um, facial recognition software often doesn't recognize non-white people. And so
yeah,
that's another AI. I think we mentioned that last year sometime. So there's more than just women, of course. I think minorities also are affected by AI. But when you think about the fact that so much of human history has been written by men, it really has, right? I mean, maybe up
yeah,
into the last 100 years, but where more and more women have had opportunity to do those things. But and how IT has been led and STEM has been led so much by men. It seems a natural bias, but we need to counter it. The
yeah.
bias has to be undone, sorry, so that we can not have this gender bias going forward in AI. It's scary. It really is
Yeah,
scary.
yeah. Yeah, it is scary because like AI trained on the data that we give it to it.
Hmm.
But if the data lacks diversity or mostly male, mostly Western mind
Yeah.
information, but the AI will reflect it. I'm not saying AI itself is bad. I'm saying the data, we should work on it. Like that's sometimes when I do search in ChatGPT, and sometimes give me like, I feel like this is wrong information, and I say like, no, this is not the right information, and this is how it link. I go use Google. I grab the link and give it to him.
Hmm.
And also, yes, most of the people work on STEM or leading on STEM now are and men, and that's sometimes like it's really important when you work an AI tool for your blogging, for your company, or for hiring a platform, for anything, to make sure that you collect or make a team from different backgrounds.
Hmm.
And not only from one similar background or one similar ethnicity, because, like, example, including more women, people of color, and voices from different communities in AI search, it can really enhance the designing, the testing, the results, and it can overcome this bias. And as you said, like the AI for the face cannot recognize than white people, because most of the people who invent like work on it are white people, so
Hmm.
they really like focusing on one thing. um and also the testing, the auditing, and I'll really believe that the AI tools can learn and do much better if some company find out like, okay, there's a bias with hiring for like the assistants only, like with the AI tool it's figured women, or this is wrong information, or it's a little bit, oh, this is not true, can be a little bit biased, then they should fix it. They should really work on making it better. And um,
Yeah, it's
like yeah, transparency, because I really don't know. Sometimes many AI systems, like I feel they're like black boxes, like you don't know how they make decisions or where. I know they're getting their information from online, from the data that we
Mhm.
provided, the people
Mhm.
wrote it online. And I think I would love to see more transparency. Like when people are building the AI system, they can explain how they are this AI making decision, or in very clear human terms, and also to explain where they are getting the information, because that is really important to fix the source of the information, and then we can fix how the AI bring us the information, and not like it's a black box. We don't know what's going on or how they're getting it. Yeah.
I think part of it, and you said, sometimes we can correct it. We can like I've asked it to make pictures for me, right? The graphics for me for articles.
Mm.
And at the end it's like thumbs up or thumbs down, right? And I'll say, um, what are 5 reasons XYZ, right? And then I give a thumbs up or thumbs down. And the thumbs up or thumbs down is just the bare minimum of how we can train it. If
Yeah.
we actually were to provide feedback, if we were to type in what was wrong with something or why it didn't wasn't quite true, we could actually help it learn better. But we're so busy and we have so many demands made of us nowadays that taking the time to provide feedback, very few people will do that.
Yeah.
Most of us won't even hit the thumbs up or thumbs down. We'll just abandon it, go Google it ourselves, as opposed to training the AI model to do better for us. And like I will ask my Amazon Echo for information. And sometimes it's not just like usually it's the weather, I'm not gonna lie. Right? Like every morning before I even open my eyes, what's the weather today? Right? And it tells me what the weather is. But sometimes I'll ask for other information, like what year an actor was born, or
Yeah.
just things like that. And it'll ask me, did that answer your question? And I will say yes or no and provide the feedback, because verbally it's much easier to provide feedback than typing something out, right? But I
Yeah.
usually will remember to do that and provide feedback if I'm not in a huge hurry, um, because I want it to do better. And by the way, on Siri on my phone, I put a male voice because I want him to serve me and I want him to remember that I'm in charge and women are okay too. So my my Siri has a male voice.
I know why we are friends, because also I have the same.
I love it.
I know I don't
But
want a woman voice. I want a man voice.
exactly. Exactly. You also make me wonder, and I haven't looked at all of your research yet, but I wonder too if language inputs have different outputs back to us based on the language that we're using. So in English, are we getting one answer? But I would imagine like the big languages, right? The ones that are more universal, like Spanish, most of the European languages, I should
Yeah,
say, Spanish, Italian, German, those would probably have similar returns. But some of the lesser spoken, like Tagalog and other languages
yeah,
from Asia and from the African continent and those kinds of languages, would they have the same response in ChatGPT, for example, if we looked at them across language models? If we all asked the same question in our own language, are we getting back the same basic answer, or is it serving us different information? I would love to know that as well.
the same. Me, I'm gonna do that immediately after our recording because, like, I would
Because
love,
you speak
especially
seven
in
languages.
yeah. I mean, I speak Arabic and Armenian and Dutch, and I want to do the testing
Yeah,
to see to check it out. It will be interesting because I know how can I say sometimes also in Dutch, like Dutch language, I know I think it's like 21, 22 million only speak the language, but the Dutch community is really active in the website and creating information, even in technologies and. But example, if you go to Swahili, I think there's more than 200 million people speak it. But of course, it's language used in Africa. It's not like the African countries not at the same level of European
right.
countries in technology for many factories in
Hmm.
economy and then life costs and stuff like that. So I would love
Right.
to know if using it. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do some testing later on. But that's
Yeah.
something
And
I would really love to know.
if the socioeconomic level of a country is higher or lower than, say, whatever average might look like, are you more or le less likely to get an answer first and then to get an answer that is equivalent to what you would get in higher economic countries? So I would imagine like Japanese would serve
Yeah,
high because
yeah,
the Nikkei and all of that, Japan has a very high ranking business wise. Let's say in the business world, right? So
mm,
um, is Swahili used globally in business? I would argue it
no,
probably is not, right? Is it used
yeah,
within its country, within its, language speaking area for business? Yes. But does that translate outside of a geographic area? Probably not. Which is why I think I would guess that so many global languages, if you would say like business languages, would be much more likely to be similar in the
yeah,
responses than those that are not.
yeah.
Interesting
And
hypothesis.
yeah, me, I'm gonna do the search and let you know what will be. Now it's my brain all of it think about like search about it. Yeah,
Like, what
but
questions should we
also,
ask it? Yeah.
and also to be honest, also to talk about a lot of companies who's creating the tools or working on the AI. They are how can I say they will not act unless if the government or they are obliged by the law to do something like and I think sometimes that is when the people like they need to push for laws and ethical standards that requires fairness or non-discrimination accountability in the AI development because some companies they don't care unless you have to do it. Now we have
Right.
example now the Accessibility Act now in Europe, especially in Netherlands, since the 28th of June. If your website is not accessible, you will get a fine. You
Hmm.
will, and that's something like people now like starting like, oh, we need to work on our accessibility. Why we could work on it before and don't wait
Right.
until it's become act or
Right.
rules. But also at the same time, people if they push a little bit more like no it should be we should not ask for it, it should be the AI should be not discriminating people, it should not
Right.
be biased, it's the companies should have those mindset of hiring or having this diverse team they can work on the tool that can serve everyone and not only specific small group of the
Right.
people they are targeting it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You came up with a list of tools and platforms that are trying to help
Yeah,
um this model, and I'll read the first two and you could read the second two just to kind of
yeah,
give an idea. So IBM AI Fairness 360, which is an open source toolkit that helps detect and reduce bias in machine learning models. I think that's pretty cool. And then
yeah.
there's Google's What If tool. It's a visual interface to test how machine learning models, why is that so hard to say? ML models behave, helping identify fairness issues without needing to write code. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And another tool is Learn by Microsoft, a toolkit to assess and improve the fairness of AI systems, integrates well with Python and Jupyter. Hugging Face, this is a cute name, Hugging
I like
Face.
it. I want to hug your face. Yes.
Same. Data Assist plus model cards. Their model cards include information on potential biases and recommended uses for AI model. I think this is really amazing. I like those
Yeah.
tools. They are working to make it to make sure that uh, others are or the AI tools are less biased or this less discriminating
Yeah.
people or users. Yeah,
It makes you
and
wonder who's behind them. Are men or women behind them?
I'm pretty sure are women. Maybe you never know. It's gonna
You
be
never know.
surprised.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm sure that there's both, but it is interesting to wonder sometimes. And then there's
yeah,
also organizations and programs that you have a list of here. I think it's no joke. Everybody knows that Samah does our research, so I'm just reading the lovely research that she provides. But and the organizations and programs that are working for this, one is out of NYU, New York University, AI Now Institute researches the social impacts of AI, focusing on inclusion, bias, and accountability. And that's AInowinstitute.org, which I think is a cool name, too, by the way. Data and Society is a think tank that explores how technology impacts society, including algorithmic bias. You go ahead and take over your list.
There's a partnership on AI and a collation of tech companies and civil societies groups working on reasonable AI development. Members include Google, IBM, Mozilla, and Amnesty International. Black in AI, women in AI, queer in AI, grassroots communities that support underrepresented voices in AI, especially at major conferences like Neuro IPS, AI for All, a nonprofit focused on increasing diversity and inclusion in AI by providing education and mentorship to high school students from underrepresented in apprentice group. Also, there's influential people and advocates like I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong, Dr. Timinet Gabor and Deb Raji. Both of them, they're really working on making more, focusing, highlighting those biases and how to fix those discrimination. Yeah.
I think that's wonderful. I am embarrassed that I didn't even think that it might be an issue. So I'm very glad that there are people who recognize these kinds of issues that are happening. I'm just barely going about my little life, recognizing some things and not others. So it's good to know that there are entire organizations that are watching out for these kinds of inequalities and trying to find solutions for them, and that some of them are big companies absolutely helps. That's pretty cool. And I don't know how
Yeah,
you
awesome.
found this article, but I'm really grateful that you did.
Me, I was reading about it. Like I'm obsessed with politics. Me, like politics is my jam. And United Nations reports. If I told you that I was reading, I know we don't talk about politics about Rwanda and Congo signing up the treaty. I was reading it. I was finding it very interesting. And my husband told me, like, this is really awkward. But anyway, and I was happy about the international, the IHLO they are going to do. They're going to apply it. But me, I find it. And all the time I open United Nations Women because they work all around the globe to make sure and women development and talking a lot about things maybe we cannot talk about it in the podcast because it's not related to
Right.
technology or not related to things, but there's a lot of amazing things to do with
Yeah.
education, with FGM, with a lot of things. And that is to also to highlight the articles 1 year old that me I was looking about if they also if there's any new things about it. But sadly, and I love it that they talk about it 1 year ago, and I know a lot of people now talking about it now, and that is sometimes it's really important to talk about things before we start
Yeah.
fixing them later. It's okay, and it's really amazing to fix them later. But I think from the beginning, it's really amazing to hear other people's voices when we create tools, when we create plugins, when we start working on some specific things. And yes, we still from 1 year, still the problem is growing, and we should pay more attention to it, and people should more work more and more to fix it. Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's unwomen.org. Um, it's a great, I'm looking for a way to sign up for there must be a way to sign up for their newsletter. So I will find that and sign up as well. But I know you're going to put this in the show notes so people can go back and read the article itself and find more on their website. It's just awesome. I love seeing things like this, especially if I didn't already know about it. It makes me happy that they already
Yeah.
exist. It's not brand new. They've been around for 15 years. That's wonderful. Which is still,
Yeah, and also I love the logo for all women and girls. They are the
yep,
global champions of gender equality, and that is it is really amazing. There's a lot of organization, a lot of education. Like, of course, we always like talk. We try to talk about and share it with anyone who would love to learn about. But yeah,
yeah.
but we need to do a lot of work to fix our world.
Me too.
We need we need a
I
lot of
love
work.
I love that the word all is bolded. It says for all women and girls. It doesn't say for cis women and girls, which is nice too. So I haven't read about them as much, but I'm going to assume that it includes trans women as well. I can't
I
imagine that
think
it
yeah.
doesn't. Yeah, so pretty cool. Thank you, Samah, for such a great article and such a great topic. Yeah, this has been a great conversation, and I look
Mm.
forward to learning more now that you have opened my eyes to potential issues. But yeah, if you do the different languages into ChatGPT, I'll be very interested to hear what your findings are for sure.
You're gonna hear me send you smiley face or just like long message to you being angry about it.
Exactly, exactly. Oh, good times. Well, we will come up with hopefully j just as interesting a topic for next week, and hopefully I won't oversleep, so I'll sound a little more coherent in our conversation. But
Or maybe I could push it 1 hour so you can wake up in your relaxing time. But also I can do that, I don't have to make it that super early. But yeah, for you.
we can talk about that. I would like to actually, be more productive. Anyway, we'll talk. We'll talk. But we'll see everybody next time on Underrepresented in Tech. Bye.
Bye.
If you're interested in using our database, joining us as a guest for an episode, or just want to say hi, go to underrepresentedintech.com. See you next week.